right, tonight on our Great American panel, he is the former vice chair of the DNC Finance Committee. Michael Brown is here. She is the former communications director for the Republican Congressional Committee. Karen Hannity back with us. And rounding out our panel, comedian. He's on O&A often, author of the bestseller, I Hate Your Guts. I hate your guts? Yeah. There's a friendly guy. That's, Jim Norton is here with us. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being with us. All right, let's start with, first of all, Blagojevich. He's making the media rounds. He's been everywhere. I don't want to hear one more interview with this guy. But anyway, let's roll the tape.
All I'm asking is you make him make a Senate pick.
All right, Michael, first of all, he's on tape saying he doesn't like his job, he wants to leave, and he wants to make money off his job. So let's put the criminal side of this, criminal aspect of this aside. Politically, he should go. Fair?
Fair. But there's also a level of due process that needs to be done, too. I think anybody, whether you're a politician or an average citizen, you should have some due process, and that's all he's asking for. But I do agree with your premise that he should go. Yes, I do.
He's on tape, Karen, saying he wants to sell his office.
I love this guy. Here's the solution. Rod Blagojevich loves TV. He loves prime time. I say we bring back Fox's game show, Moment of Truth. We hook him up to a lie detector. And, you know, look, the Illinois legislature can ask him every question they want to ask him. But the people of Illinois, in all fairness, are kind of getting what they deserve. It's not like he turned corrupt last year. He's been corrupt. He was corrupt.
Allegedly corrupt.
It's only a criminal complaint. He hasn't been indicted.
I have a rap sheet a mile long.
Listen, the fact that they didn't let this play out, I think, helps him probably tremendously.
He put a Senate sale up for sale, a Senate seat for sale on eBay. He's guilty. Everybody knows it. He's unraveling. He's going to be walking naked like Peter Falk. That's a psychopath. I like the fact that he's a governor. He's a megalomaniac with hair like a Lego person. How do you not love watching this guy fall apart?
Well, obviously he's a comedian. Jim, in case you know, if you ever watched him on HBO. All right, Obama says Republicans should stop listening to Rush. I don't know what this obsession is. He said this in this meeting.
He has an obsession with you, too.
He's attacked me 10 times by name, which, by the way, keep it coming, more promos. You like it. But I have a theory on this, Karen, and you're the Republican here. He wants to divide and marginalize the Republicans and sort of isolate conservatives that are the heart of the party. And I think the other thing is, I think they're paving the way, probably not for the censorship doctrine, which is what it is, but some backdoor effort to silence people, opposition voices.
Yeah, I think, look, they call it the fairness doctrine. It's not the fairness doctrine.
Censorship doctrine.
It is. It's absolute censorship. I think that is part of what Obama's doing. And it's kind of bizarre that he's giving so much credence to, Limbaugh himself says, look, I'm not a journalist, I'm an entertainer. And it's almost as if Obama thinks that all of Republicans are sitting at home with their little tinfoil hats, with their ham radios, waiting, in the middle of the night for Rush to,
He has
marching
been
orders
the defining voice of conservatism in this country. You work on Opie and Anthony's show, on their radio program. Look, there are people that did shut them down, want to shut them down. They want to go after Imus. They want to go after Rush. They want me dead. And it's like you can't tolerate an alternative viewpoint. Whatever happened to free speech liberals?
Liberals have become such whinging babies about anybody who calls about public. Obama has used tougher language on Rush than he has on Hamas. Who cares what Rush Limbaugh says, or any other political pundit? They're just people expressing
I care what I say.
You were the exception.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because I'm here, I'm saying that.
No, but Obama shouldn't care.
But Michael, listen, why, do you think maybe strategically to try to sort of siphon away conservatives from the Republicans? You don't want to hang out with those guys. Or do you support any silencing efforts, either localism or the censorship doctrine? Do you support that?
Well, first of all, your party has done that to itself. I mean, because you guys really haven't had a coherent message in about a decade. And so that is part of why Rush is so attractive, because he stays on message, you stay on message, a lot of your friends stay on message, but your party really doesn't. And that's what President Obama is talking about, is that you have a couple voices in your kind of side of the aisle, but you really don't have a coherent message.
Do you support the fairness doctrine?
Well, I think it's no, of course, we have First Amendment. Everyone has First Amendment rights to do whatever they want to do.
Look, Nancy Pelosi, she supports it. She wants it to go through. She doesn't want Sean to have.
Well, whether Sean or Rush, and Sean and I have had disagreements many times. However, The point is that you're not objective, and I think that's the point, that Russia's an objective, sometimes you're not objective, and when you're not...
And you're not objective either.
Actually, I've agreed with you many times, so I think I do show that I'm objective.
I supported Obama, I think, to keep Gates was a good idea, General Jones is a good idea, but I would support socialism. You know, Russ got into this big issue last week on the program when I was interviewing him. I want socialism to fail because it will fail. And in that sense, it's not good or healthy for America.
Is the fairness doctrine, pardon my interruption, is the fairness doctrine going to cover editorials in the New York Times, or the way MSNBC covers things, or the way CNN covers things,
Great point.
or the way most of the major newspapers
just talk radio.
No, just talk radio, because liberals have not been able to put out interesting or compelling talk show hosts, so they flunk in the ratings so they get voted.
Yeah, and by the way, there's one congresswoman that wants to actually add it to cable. So I'm totally out of work, by the way, if that happens. I thought, you know what? I could use a bailout at that point. So, all right. Well. Now with our great American panel. All right, I don't understand this, Michael, and that is that, you know, Barack Obama during the campaign said, all right, we just got to inflate our tires, get tune-ups, and he would have preferred a gradual increase in gas prices. All right, now gas prices are down, but he's going to order environmental regulators to look at a request that every state can literally have their own standards. This is going to kill the auto industry. Massive, you know, unfunded mandate. Is that the right thing to do at a time when the auto industry is struggling the way it is?
Well, I mean, if you want to look at kind of some of that campaign rhetoric, what he was talking about is making sure that our U.S. workers have jobs looking into the future. And state mandates, different states have different things that they can offer, from technology to resources. And I think that's something serious to look at. He'll talk to Congress about it, and we'll see what happens. But it's hard to argue with some of the vision that he's had, considering the American people overwhelmingly voted
I have a vision.
So,
all right, but that's fair enough.
Then run for president.
Overwhelmingly, not overwhelmingly.
57 million of us on the other side. I have a solution, Karen. How about we drill? How about we expand coal mining? How about we build refineries and nuclear facilities? How's that?
If we're going to be honest here, let's be fair and balanced. It's not just Obama. It's some of the governors, like Governor Schwarzenegger in California, who wrote a letter to the Obama administration, asked it of Bush administration. He wants these standards in California. Look, there was a guy, a trucker from California, who said, if I had to retrofit all my trucks, it's going to be $20,000 per truck to retrofit to meet these requirements. It's going to put this guy out of business. How does that create jobs? How does this regulation create
I
jobs?
thought you guys like state right stuff. I thought that was your thing.
State right's a good idea. I mean, Schwarzenegger, it's a bad idea. And governors who would implement this, it's awful. It's terrible.
But this is a great question. You know what? At a time when business is now struggling, you know, you would think we tax business less. But the antithesis is happening. You know, we're talking about $850 billion stimulus packages. We're going to bail out banks and insurance companies and financial institutions. Jim, you getting a bailout in the comedy industry?
No, I'm getting nothing but just bombing and booze. But when it comes to, I actually agree with Obama on this. You know, I think the greater good is for, look, and it doesn't affect me personally. I mean, I only travel by hot air balloon or rickshaw. But I think that we have to do something about fuel emissions. It's just bad.
First of all, it's not that bad. Let me tell you one other thing. It snowed for only the second time this weekend. Where did it snow? In Dubai. It snows in Dubai. 650 global warming scientists, you know what they said? It's a hoax. It's hysteria. And we're making all this legislation about something that isn't happening. Now they're telling us it's an ice age. First it was an ice age, then it's global warming, now we're back to ice age. You know, so why are we making financial decisions on science that doesn't exist?
I don't know.
I need you to know. That's why
I have nothing to say about it except, okay, good point.
But the greater good, doesn't that have to be balanced out? And, you know, what's the timing of it? I mean, could you do it 2 years from now? Could you do it 4 years from now? Could you do it at a time when the economy's not tanking? California has 9.3% unemployment right now. What is this emissions rule going to do to business in California? Is it going to cost jobs, or is it going to create jobs? It's going to cost jobs. So, you know, I think, you know, there's got to be like this more well-rounded view of it.
I'm actually convinced that there are liberals that want us to, you know, live in huts, don't want us to ride our bicycles or walk to work. And meanwhile...
That's like Obama's half brother.
Well, but limousine liberals, Al Gore flies around in a private jet because we caught him in one. He gets limousine service when he gets to the airport.
So what does this have to do with anything? The bottom line is President Obama has inherited a whole bunch of drama from the Bush administration he has to fix. And he's trying to do that. It's going to take some time. These are not overnight solutions.
So we can make draconian decisions based on this false science of global warming and the hysteria, even though the experts are saying we have an ice age coming. And we're still going to hurt the economy in the process. That's okay?
Well, it's not that it's necessarily okay, but there are other scientists on the other side that do believe that there's real global warming. The fact that you guys on the right dismiss it is pretty irresponsible.
650 climatologists are hardly right-wingers listening to Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin.
You don't know that they're not listening to you, though.
I hope they are. They might learn that it's a crock.
Well, didn't Al Gore give stats on what the where the orders are in other countries compared to it? I couldn't get through it without dozing. News messages on 4. But didn't give stats on where we should be and where we're not?
Yeah, and as he flies around in his Gulfstream.
He's the only person that does that. No Republicans that fly around on Gulfstream.
But not to lecture us about global warming.